6.
Hacking attacks against major companies and government departments have been in the news a lot in the last few weeks. M&S, Co-op and Harrods have all been targeted. Yesterday, we found out that a significant amount of private data, including details of domestic abuse victims, have been hacked from Legal Aid's online system. Gary McKinnon is a former hacker who was accused by a US prosecutor in 2002 of perpetrating the biggest military computer hack of all time. Gary joins us now. Morning.
Morning, how you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. So lots of questions, some from the audience, some from me. First of all, there seems to have been a spate of cyber attacks, and what I'm wondering is if that is all a coincidence or it's just that we've become aware and it's a sort of domino effect. When one company comes out and says we've been hacked, everyone else has a look and then they realise they've been hacked.
Well, they do think that it's the same group. Scattered Spider seems to be their current name, although they've gone by previous names in the past. So it could be that they've just launched, a massive attack and chosen multiple targets at the same time.
And why are they doing it? Is it just money? Is it just trying to extract money from companies?
Well, the M&S hack was money because that's ransomware. They encrypt all your data so you can't access it, and then try and charge you for decrypting it. Whereas Legal Aid, it was personal details that were taken. Of course, this can be used for identity theft, which is a possible reason. Perhaps organised crime could also be behind it. And the Co-op hack was a lot of personal data as well. Although strangely, me and I've got friends in Scotland, Wales, many parts of England, and they've all noticed, lots of gaps in the shelves in Co-op stores that may have affected distribution as well. But the Co-op's been pretty tight-lipped.
How common are these types of cyber attack then?
Ransomware is very common. I've been doing some security work since about 2014. And in that time, I've helped about 6 or 7 small local businesses with ransomware attacks. So I think they're very common when it comes to small businesses, although obviously less common because larger businesses in general would have better security.
When you were hacking, what were you looking for?
I was absolutely obsessed with UFOs, and I was convinced I could find out UFO secrets from US military computer networks.
And could you?
I did, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, that might be a separate conversation. But the point, I suppose, is that your motivations were quite different to the kind of hackers that we're talking about now.
Yeah, I mean, broadly, there's 3 or 4 categories. You're either after knowledge, to find out something you're not supposed to know about, or it's financial gain, or in some cases it can be what they call hacktivism, using hacking as like a political activism just to raise awareness about issues. And also there's just basic fame or notoriety amongst your own community by like defacing a website or taking over a website.
But where are the vulnerabilities in these systems? And do all companies, sort of small and large, just need to invest a bit more in trying to protect themselves?
Well, the main vulnerability really is and always has been the human factor. The Marks and Spencer's attack, for instance, what they did was the old technique called social engineering. So the hackers call up your IT help desk, pretend they're an internal network engineer. And in M&S's case, they got them to reset passwords and also disable, two-factor authentication, which is where you get a text every time someone tries to use your account. And also weak passwords, another aspect of the human factor. But the other obstruction really is cost. It can be quite costly to have very good security in your systems. And also the psychological factor of, it'll never happen to us, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And do you think that is ultimately going to change, that companies are going to start to realise that, yes, it might be expensive to have effective cybersecurity, but you really want it?
I think it is slowly changing, but many people really do think, it'll never happen to us. Like, why would they hack us? For instance, one of the companies I helped, they did car leasing, and they never imagined that anyone would hack them because they don't think they have very important data. There's no sort of way of transferring cash out of their network. But of course, it was a ransomware attack, and the people just hold you to ransom and try and get money from you.
We had a few texts. Read one here from Stephen in London who says, if a company like Google Cloud can be compromised, does this mean that major tech firms are capable of being hacked? And is all of our personal data at risk?
Well, unfortunately, some of this large infrastructure stuff relies on something called Azure, Microsoft Azure, and Windows systems are notoriously insecure and easy to hack. So if you're deploying stuff at a large scale, obviously you have many more vulnerabilities, many more points of attack. So yeah, you really do need to have external security software in addition to your Windows operating system.
And at a personal level, so I guess we've been talking mainly about companies, but how can people protect their own data more effectively?
Just get a very good brand of internet protection software. So not just antivirus, but stuff that blocks phishing attacks, looks for remote access files, and also never respond to an email if you're at all suspicious of its origins. And there's things like lots of phishing emails want you to click on a link, but in most email software, if you hover your mouse over the link, I know it's different on phones, which most of us use these days, but if you hover your mouse over a link on your desktop computer, it'll tell you the actual true link, whereas the button might have different text to try and fool you into believing it's something else.
So it's really just being pretty vigilant and sort of keeping your eye out for anything suspicious.
Doing some investment.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Gary. Really useful. Nice to speak to you.
My pleasure. You too.
Gary McKinnon there, former hacker.